Okie dokie. Hi guys. So it's 7 p.m. tonight. You will have hopefully joined Julia in the release of the Kaleidoscope collection. So for my video tonight, which is utterly strange because I usually do actual live, so I don't know me video, but so it's going to be very strange not being able to answer anybody's questions. So I will just explain what I'm doing and what I'm using, and hopefully we'll like the end result. But this is an idea of where we are going and what we are going to make, but with some variations. Similar layout, but variations. Same colours. So I will show you what I am using. And this gorgeous stencil and mask called the Large Butterfly is what I'm using tonight. As you will see on the card that I've already done, I used this. But tonight we're going to use the actual frame. So what to do? I am using the same inks. So Wilted Violet and Peacock Feathers. I will just get a bit of card just so I am not cleaning up throughout this. And I will get the card that I am inking onto. And I will get some water. So randomly, or in any kind of pattern you want, just add some ink. Don't worry about mingling your inks on the actual ink pad, it won't hurt them. I have done it far too many times. Look, it's fine. So put them to one side. Move that out of the way. And we are going to spritz this lightly. Don't soak it. Just enough to get it moving. We're not using watercolour card. I'm actually just using Super Smooth. So now that started working, we'll put that straight onto there. Shimmy it up a bit. Get some tissue. So we're basically stamping with the stencil. And just put that over there so I'm getting the little bits of ink and water that are splodging out the sides, no doubt. Get my pokey tool so we can lift this up. See, I was just about to say we're not looking for perfection. Let's not waste that. Let's put it on and give that another spritz. Pop that on there. You never know, might end up using that one. Second ones are normally the best. Soak that up, never waste your ink. And because it's such an awesome mask and stencil, it's not as if you're not going to use it. And that'll be the beginning of something else. It's more of a watery, dreamy look. And obviously if you did it on watercolour cardstock, it would move even more. obviously you get different effects with different cardstock. So put that to one side. This needs to dry, however, so I will pop that just to that side, and we shall start doing a bit of the elements that we are going to need. This set is my favourite. This one is the Wings of Change. So on this stamp set, I'm going to use the bulb, my favourite stamp of them all. They are all lush, but for these elements, I am stamping onto watercolour cardstock. It's a different tone. It doesn't matter because we are different tone to the base card, should I say. It doesn't matter. We are fussy cutting them out. And they're fairly quick to cut out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it live. But the reason why we are cutting these out, as well as also stamping on the base card, is because these little dots that Julia has decorated the stamp image with, I mean, you don't really want to be fussy cutting around that. I don't anyway. So we'll keep that to one side because we will need it again. Then we need to go to a different stamp set, which is butterfly style. And I'm sure you've seen, well, I'm hoping you've seen my samples that I've extended the face. So I've made her have a massive bouffant. She's also had a hairdo of butterflies. It's a lovely, lovely stamp to work with and really, really gets your imagination going. So we are only using one little element from that, and that is little butterfly, and it's a different one from that I've used on the original card I've shown you. But like I say, we're using variations to get similar effects. Put that to one side because we only need one, but we'll have to use it again. And then this, oh, my brushes. This set is a Butterfly Kisses, and she's very cute. Very, very cute indeed. So I'm just using this little element, and I only need to stamp that little butterfly. This. Here we go. While we're at it, I will dry the said base card off, because at least then I can get on with watercolouring the elements. Sorry, you might not hear me now. So I will grab the light bulb again. Now this is going to go smack bang at the top edge of the card. So ink. and I will take that ink off my finger, as no doubt I will stamp my base card and ruin it already. So let's position you over here. Just make sure it's definitely there. Okie dokie. So even on this, with a slight variation from the original card, you could get away with just colouring it as is, but I want to make sure that I can watercolour the images. So I will put the bulb back because you definitely don't need that again. And this time I am using the little dangle, but without the butterfly. So this is where you have to be super, super careful. Let's get a baby wipe. Excuse my chair. I just want to wipe the butterfly so I don't actually stamp it. Otherwise that would be a disaster. Because I want to elongate it for one of the elements. So let's, I think there will do. There's one little strand, and then to join it up, and there. So that's just giving me a longer strand than what the original is on the stamp. And then we can go ahead and actually stamp the full thing because we want the little butterfly at the end. So let's pop you. There's a lot of popping, isn't there? And I've got some ink there. I knew I would. Now we just need the larger butterfly from Butterfly Style to stamp on the end of our dangle. There we go. Use a smaller block. This is what happens getting done. I'll just put a dot on or splashes, it'll be fine, because obviously we are putting splashes on. Don't think I can do a project without putting splashes on. So we shall dangle this butterfly there. There we go. So now we can get busy and do some watercolouring with the elements that we've stamped earlier. I'll pop that to one side. Again, with the pop. I've chosen to do some watercolouring with Distress inks only because I absolutely love watercolouring with them, and they are widely available. So I've chosen not to use a water brush because I don't want to saturate it. So let's start with the bulb. And I'm using a trusty tile because it's less messy. Easier to clean. And it's white. So I am going to wet this area of the filament. Watercolouring on a video or live makes us go quiet, and I obviously want the filament to be a little bright, like a little hotter in the center, so to speak. And then bring in some mustard seed. That's a bit strong. Go over the ripe persimmon, just in case you guys want to know what colours they are. And with us doing a different variation, maybe show you a little trick to give that little glow of the bulb. So to me, that bulb is fine. Next, let's do a bit of hickory smoke. And a little bit of black soot, not much. And this will be for the hanger. So I have chosen some really thin brushes so that I hopefully don't go over onto my butterflies. I mean, if you were doing it, you could dry each section off that you do, just so that there's no so that the colour doesn't sort of work its way around into places that you don't want it to be. Bit of black soot, add a bit of shadow from that little butterfly. A little bit of black soot up here. And then a little bit. I mean, it doesn't matter if I go over the edges on this part, because we are cutting it out. So that will do. Right, butterfly time. Sadly, I am going to have to say goodbye to these because I don't want my ink contaminated. Oh, she says, could have used that for the glow. Daft. Daft. Right, put that in the bin. So let's colour these butterflies, and I have, because we used peacock feathers and wilted violet distress oxides, I am using the same colours but in distress inks for the butterflies. What did I just say? Because I used it for the background, the oxides, I am now using the original distress inks for the butterflies. I think that made more sense. my tissue. Let's put a bit of peacock feathers in there. I'll let it, they do really mix very well, these colours together. They are super pretty. If you had more time, you could let the like flood the area and let the colours mingle and work together and let it dry naturally, because things always look better when you dry naturally. So if you could, I've got my tongue hung out now. Concentrating. That's a better blend than this one. But hey ho, I am not very good at my watercolouring just yet. I'll get there. And because they're so small, they you want to be careful not to kind of overdo it. See, like you can just do the drop effect, just let it work and flood the area, and then let it sort of like a tie-dye effect. It looks super cool. Yeah, that will do for that one. I think I'll add a bit more purple just for a little bit of shade just up here on this one. I think I will make this one fully purple. We can add black and white pen detail so it won't end up looking too flat. And this big fella, or big lady, is awesome to paint and colour, especially on watercolour cardstock. I mean, you could do different colours if you like to the ones I've chosen, even though you may have done the same colours for the background, but I just wanted continuity. Is it? I'll come off this video and I'll be trying to say that. Continuity. Yeah, still can't do it. There's just some words you just can't say. And that is one of mine. Okie dokie. Right. Do not need any more of that. Oh, I did. I did actually. Just put that to one side. So, this little trick. You don't need the water anymore. I'm going to put that away so I don't knock it. So let's give the bulb a little glow, shall we? I'll use this to work it in. I don't want, in fact, I'll use a lighter. I'll use spiced marmalade. Work it in, because I don't want it to. So just go around. And I'll go in with a bit of yellow in a minute. Just need to get this going first. And it's good because we've already stamped the elements and we've already coloured them. So it will cover the workings. Right, I need a yellow one. I nearly went into the orange, never to be seen yellow ever again. I think I'll use a bigger brush this time. I mean, you could colour these in similar colours to what actual moths are like. They can be anything you want. I think for the glow, that's perfect. So, put that to one side. Put you back, sir. Put you back, sir. I can find the hole. So, I'm going to have to give this a waft before I start cutting out. That will do. Just trim as much as possible before I fussy cut, make it easier for myself. Anybody else love fussy cutting? I could sit for hours with just nothing on my mind, no project to do, just cutting for cutting's sake. I always have done since I was a kid. So I think it was only fitting that I became such an avid crafter, to be fair. So I am going to start around here. I cannot fussy cut small things super quickly because I don't want to cut a vital part off. But yeah, I could sit for hours, and I have done. I've got like poly pockets full of elements that I've just sat and cut, and whether they'll get used or not is another thing. But yeah, it's nice and relaxing. And there is a heck of a lot of activity for this release. I know it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, as well as it has been tonight. I know that the YouTube hop is going live at 9 p.m. So this is my first YouTube hop, which is super exciting. Yeah, the reason why I started round this side is because that's quite delicate down there. So if you were to do that first, you would more likely strain. And that is from personal experience, utterly, because I strained mine too much and it snapped. So just so that you, little tip there, cut that off there. You know, because you'll be kind of more prone to knock the cord that it's hanging from if you were to do that first. I mean, some people might have even cut this out with a craft knife, but scissors for me all the way, I'm afraid. So that's made that grey, and I haven't bent the cord. Let's get this little fella out. You could decoupage these up no end, especially that larger one I've got to cut out, which was an idea I was going to do for this, but I thought I would have just made things harder for myself for my first YouTube hop. So yeah, it's completely different, not having to look at a screen and seeing what everybody's talking about. Very strange, surreal. Move you over to the bin. One last bit to cut out, barring the sentiment, of course. And we don't need to cut the antennae because we've already stamped these elements. Which is the good thing about doing what we've done. Because I think I see quite a lot of butterflies in the craft world without antennae, because we just think, oh, no way. Let's cut you that way. And they are really pretty when you decoupage them up and give them some 3D height and shape them. Very pretty. Great collection. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself making the samples I have. So I'm just gonna trim there. Just little white edges. I don't want to ink the edges, but I don't want white parts. And I think I placed that quite well with the colours, because at least they're not the same colour, if you get what I mean. So, and now you can see that glow around the bulb has worked a treat. Let's get these glued down. we go. I think I did leave the wings on my original one and didn't actually glue them fully down. I might do them with this. Pretty, pretty. The next step is need to edge it and put some detail. I think I'll use white pen actually first. Let's add a few on the butterflies. You could get lost actually putting a few details here, there and everywhere like I am doing now. I think I'll put some, just going to edge that with my black pen. Cut away too much. See, that's some of the things about cutting elements out that might just happen to you too. Put a few dots here. Let's get rid of that smudge. I mean, I could stick a butterfly on it, really. Let's put some dots around here just to shade a little. Let's put black spots on this butterfly. Completely dotty. And then put 3 dots on this. Right, let's edge it now. I was in 2 minds as to whether I would use the stencil to outline the butterfly, and actually I may do that. That's another variation on the original card. Now, I think I might go rogue and just follow the lines that are already there, just to give it the less perfect look, and it doesn't look contrived and regimented. Just do it like a lot of us do our borders. I've just completely put that back in the same position. I've actually kept that quite straight, not meaning to. And then when I want to actually do something straight, it won't be. I will show you something else I have done with testing this stencil out. I think I'll put a few more dots. Not many, because we've got splashes coming. Do them in 3s or 5s. I think for that, that's done. Next step, I have some washi paper that I've cut into strips. I am just going to check which side is which, because I have a habit of doing that. So this is the side that I want to stamp on. Let's get that. I think I'll use that, so we'll use this side. And we're going to design our own washi tape to edge it. So stays on. You need stays on. And we need stamps. Where did I put them? Put them somewhere safe already. So I think we'll use the 3 Kisses from Butterfly Style. And I think we'll use my favourite word, metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Which is obviously butterflies, what my doggy has come in. But yeah, we are going to, I think I'll put Metamorphosis in black ink. Doesn't need to be particular or perfect. 2nd, 3rd generations. I mean, this is stays on, and that has done quite a few of them. I thought it would only maybe do 1. A bit smudged that. Never mind. And then I have teal blue stays on, which I thought would be perfect, obviously, because we've used. And get a smaller one. There you are. So with the kisses, we shall do them in every direction. Let me just test that. Oh, that's juicy. got stays on because I want it to dry quick, and I want it to actually dry on the washi tape, because we know that vellum takes time, hence why we use it. I think I may use the little butterfly too. That's done for that one. Where's my white? I think that might be okay. If I put a butterfly on it, it might be too much, but I do have a wider washi tape. It's washi paper, so it's a bit thicker than that. So let's try on this as well. And this we shall cut before we tear up. I think this is just paper, so you can use any colour ink on this. Any type of ink, sorry. It's not going to let me stamp on it. Right. Let's do the kisses again. This time we can. Oh, very good, Sam. I mean, I suppose vintage, warm. Let's do the metamorphosis again. Put the lid on you. With it being wider, we can use, and because it's paper based, we'll be able to use a coloured ink for a butterfly on this. But this is so I can rip it up and put it along the edges of my card. So let's decide which one's the nicest. Let's do. I love the font of this as well. I think that's why it's probably my favourite. I suppose we could just do a video on what we can do with the worker stamps and the sentiments, right? So pop you over there because we do not need to again. Pop you back as well. And we shall do our sentiment. Now, I think I may do a different sentiment to the original. The original was "Change is beautiful," but I also love this sentiment, which is "Like a butterfly, her wings unfolded." So this just needs to be on white cardstock. I don't know, should we go with a coloured ink? I don't know. Go back there though. No, I think I'll keep it black. We need another butterfly for the washi tape. I will use that little butterfly. Take that off for now. Bring this back in. Let's use wilted violet. think I prefer, oh, I don't know, let's see what happens when we tear it. Let's do our sentiment. And the font on this is beautiful as well. Big enough, yes. That's perfect. Great for journaling, I think, this collection. Especially, I mean, especially the wings of change. I love that. The bulb and the compass. Okie dokie, let's move that out of the way as well. Move you. Let's trim. I am not using an actual trimmer. Just going to use these ginormous scissors. It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller because I didn't use a trimmer. That one too. And I think maybe chop a bit from there. Need to edge that. At least this is giving the washi tape time to dry. Move these bits out of the way. Okay. So I don't know if this, because I haven't used this one before. I'm just gonna blot this. Definitely dry. Just, I don't normally use stays on, so I was just checking that I don't need, that I can't smudge it. Nearly did smudge it. Okay, it's about as dry as it's going to get. So spend the next half hour taking the carrier sheet off, or get my pokey tool. So we'll go down here. piece up here. Whose idea was this? You, I think. Just tear that so it's not got a straight edge. There we go. Put you there. And as you can see, it just gives a nice subtle little detail, a bit more interest. And I want it on all 4 sides. Last bit, put over here. Tear that bit. The last bit. Come on. Now it's coming off. Oh, who decided to do this? Answers on a postcard. There we go. I got it. God, that was painful. Oh, my neck. Do not waste that. I will show you what I mean with the other strip I did, because I don't want to have done that for nothing. Where you can see that you can see through this washi paper. This, however, let's give it a taste. So if I put it across, perfect. If I put it across that, it's going to be one of them again. Don't think. Yeah, see, it's not as transparent. So that is why. I mean, that has a place. Of course, you can still make your own, like borders and things, but yeah, it's just plain tissue roll, adhesive roll. Right, get rid of that. This is our sentiment, but I am not putting it on yet. Need to mat and layer and edge. Got rid of that when I needed it. Right, alcohol pen. There we go. Black alcohol pen. Edge. Better. And then mount it on black. So let's get this glued down. Gosh, this is hard, matting and layering. I'm not being able to get up and get my head over, sorry. If that is a bit wonky. Right, and then where's the other part? Is that it? I think I found it. I thought I'd got it out. Obviously not. Okay, I think we're getting there, guys. Nearly there. Nearly there indeed. Move you. Splashes. So I have discovered that much easier, more effective way of adding splashes with my palette knife. So we need a bit of card to pop over that kind of thing. Stress oxide. So peacock feathers, wilted violet, some water, and move that out of the way. Turn it around so I get it in a different direction. Clean that. Peacock feathers. I think that will do. You could, of course, add white, but I prefer the colour version. Sacrilege, I am wasting that, but can't be helped sometimes. And that is my new way of adding splashes. So where did I put the sentiment? There it is. We need to add some doodling on that. Just to tie in with the rest of the card. I do, of course, think that this should be a bit more wonky, she says after putting splashes on. Just because it was too perfect. Anyone else do that? Okay, I think that looks hella better. And we are going to add some really, really fine black thread in a bit of a no particular way. Got some sticky pads. I can't get the back off. Today. Okay. I think bring you down here. And there is the finished card. I will get a piece of that's craft. Another piece of white card. Come on, white card. Because then you can see the borders. The mats and layers, sorry. So that is the one we've made tonight. And this is the one that I was kind of working from. So you can see, I mean, apart from the card being bigger, this is quite small. So I could have actually, but then again, I quite like that. It's not too busy and it's not too uninteresting. But that's my YouTube hop, folks. So I am thoroughly excited for Julia because it's a fab collection, and I hope you all enjoy the lives, the videos that I am going to put the links to underneath this video. So thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.